Hey guys, Marco here. Not Twisty today. There is no Twisty. There is no online persona. This is literally me as a person. While every other video also is me as a person, I do it under the I think it's called moniker of my online identity, which Twisted Velocity, Twisty. I do it in that regard. However, today I'm going to address something that has been driving me nuts for years to come, or just overall for years. It will probably drive me insane for the next few years. Because YouTube, I'm addressing you directly, and I'm also gonna tag you on Twitter. What are you doing? What are you doing with your website? Now, some of you may be aware of the current, I don't want to call it drama, it's more a controversy of a certain person getting demonetized and someone else who has been called out by person A, I just mentioned. I'm not going to mention actual names here, I'm just going to allude to who it is as to, well, encourage people to do their own research. Person A called out another person, let's just call him person 0. And, well, ever since that happened, person A has been demonetized, essentially. Well, not from the very start, it happened shortly after. And person 0, while person A has not been entirely innocent themselves, Person 0 has done terrible, terrible things. Person 0 has told people on camera to do the stop existing to themselves. I'm not gonna say the actual word because I might actually get into hot water for saying that. But, you know, people who actually make YouTube money, they apparently have special rights. Even if it's small amounts. By the way, all of this is completely uncut. If I have thinking pauses for like 20 seconds or so, so be it. This is basically like a podcast. You don't need to primarily watch anything. There are not gonna be any fancy edits or whatever. This is just me basically talking about the whole situation with YouTube right now. By the way, shout out to Crasher. I'm not sure if you know him. He's gonna be in the description as a link. He encouraged me to actually do this video. And yeah, I'm gonna have my take on the whole YouTube situation right now. Because YouTube, I have no idea what's allowed here anymore. You gotta make up your mind, YouTube. That's probably something that I should have alluded to after I said I'm gonna tag you in this. But holy hell, you can't tell me that this is exactly what this website is supposed to be like. Anyway, so like I said, person A has been in a lot of controversy, while person 0 being exposed as someone who broke multiple rules on YouTube, be it the matter of speech, off-platform behavior, be it the fact that they're ban evading. Like, there's so much evidence against that person, yet for whatever reason, for whatever stupid reason, I had Genshin in the background. I'm not sure if that was audible or not, but I got rid of it. Anyway, for whatever reason, person 0 is still allowed to be on the platform. And it even went as far as YouTube defending that person. I'm honestly not sure what to say about this. It makes literally no... Why do we have terms of service on the platform if YouTube ignores it? If ignores actual evidence, ignores people literally showing them video proof of things that happened? You know, I said it the way that I did because that's the obvious solution, but honestly, I think I know why. Because YouTube is embarrassed. YouTube is embarrassed by the whole fact that their faulty systems have been exploited in a way. And I think it's I actually think it's kind of hilarious to look at it like that. That YouTube basically makes their own rules. They make them on the fly. Someone broke a rule? Nah. We say, you know what? Delete the evidence, and you're cool. However, in some instances, when when it suits their narrative, they say, nope. We saw the deleted things. You're still at fault. It's like choose your own adventure story. I don't have a script, by the way. This is all off the top of my head. So basically, YouTube has shown within not just the past few months, but within the past few years, that they're very willing to make exceptions to the rules if it's about creators that potentially make money, or if they are promising enough names. Because there's no way in hell that a clear-cut double standard or clear-cut hypocrisy, as it is shown, would fly any other way other than money being involved or someone who looks promising. Which is probably why my channel is going to be terminated, because I don't look promising. If my channel is gone, well, YouTube terminated me for speaking my mind. It's funny how YouTube said broadcast yourself back in the day. I don't see it today anymore, which I guess it's good that doesn't happen anymore, because you can only broadcast yourself when it's in a matter of AdSense-friendly styles. So basically, this is not the first time that YouTube has done something like that either. But I think this current situation is the worst that we've ever had it. Focus, Cam. Focus. Thank you. I think that the current situation is by far the worst, because it just was some of the worst double standards that I've seen in a while. We've had, I'm looking at my notes here right now, by the way, and I could show you. You saw nothing, but I have notes. I just thought about the worst offenders of any variety of terms of service on YouTube within the past few years. And we've had people who absolutely broke copyright law, basically stealing certain shows to do as their own content, so to speak. And it's funny how certain people like that run to their own websites because they think that they are evading generalized copyright law by that. Let's not talk about that. It's too stupid to even consider as a point of content. We have had people who have shown people in a forest who no longer live, and they completely memed on that shit, and they even laughed like they are completely mentally unstable. How does that fly in any sense of any variety? I don't understand. How is that person still allowed to be here? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. What's allowed, YouTube? Why can people not say that someone is a fucking asshole when they're a fucking asshole, but people showing dead bodies is fine? And laughing about it as if they were mentally not stable. I'm already in hot water for even saying the word asshole. Thanks, Peanut Butter Gamer, for showing that tweet that you got... I think he got demonetized on one video where one video was not eligible for monetization because of the word asshole. Why is that okay? But showing literal dead people, just, I mean, of course, the video got struck by some variety. I'm not 100% sure anymore how it went. I think it got demonetized as well, and the certain person also deleted the evidence. Of course they do. Why else? What else would you do in that situation? But there are so many people who literally shit willingly on any form of rules. And sure, I'm in hot water a lot as well, especially when I talk about Verlisify, because I am pretty aggressive in the way that I talk about Verlisify. I am aware of that. However, there is, at least in my eyes, there's a certain sense of analysis, analytical substance behind it. While I am rude, I am talking about the things that are wrong. And when I call him a dictator, that is because he deletes and hides users from his channel because of him not allowing our opinions, for most part. There are certain comments on his videos that are against him, but he then tries to absolutely twist those in a way that fits his narrative. So yeah, the only example right here of any YouTuber, because I wanted to explain about myself, why I am in hot water, definitely, but I have at least an analytical point of content that I do. Same with most commentary channels. Commentary channels, by nature, have a very gray line that they are treading upon when they talk about other creators. Especially with the certain copyright abuser, copyright theft. We've seen this around 2 years ago. That person went around completely striking certain videos because the talk about one's own self, of course, is immediate indicator for hate speech and cyberbullying. That's bullshit. That's the next thing. I'm getting out of my order here. The faulty flagging system of YouTube is complete and utter garbage. And I'm gonna have my video taken down just for saying that. I am aware of that. Because I'm hurting the ego of the biggest video platform that we have on the internet right now. The flagging system, literally anyone could go into a video, say that they're part of it, and flag it. Just so it gets taken down for a while. Maybe for eternity, I don't know. That is complete and utter bullshit. I have ideas for a better reporting system where a video is at least marked for a while, so that, I don't know, the video gets like a certain percentage less exposure to the general public and only gets shipped out to subscribers for the time being. But I think that if a video is reported, it should be taken serious. Naturally, it should be taken serious. Just because we have shitty false reporters doesn't mean that any report is immediately invalid. I think that a better way of going about the reporting tool is to have a video marked if it's reported for something like, I don't know, cyberbullying, harassment, DMCA, just another person, personal information, anything of that variety. Those videos should be flagged in the beginning, and then someone who actually checks on the videos should check those videos immediately, or just hire like 1,000 people. Some people would actually do this for free, honestly. I'm pretty sure, at least. And have those people actually check up on the flag if it's legitimate. If it's not legitimate, that video gets completely cleared of anything. And should it be actually deemed as something that is worthy of that strike being on it, it gets then directed to the next higher person, who then double checks if that report justification was given correctly. Basically, a report is written about the video. It's gonna have timestamps where the actual breaking of the rule has been done, and then the higher up double checks that and then decides if the flagger is not the flagger, if the person controlling the flag was right about it or not. It's a lot of manpower involved, I'm aware of that, and probably something that, with hundreds upon thousands of flags that happen on YouTube every day, it's probably a bit much. But it should also be a thing that people who false flag videos get actual punish. You can flag millions of videos and not get any punishment, as far as my information is based, at least. That is why certain people, I'm literally not naming anyone because there are so many people that abuse the flagging system that I cannot name all of them. There are so many people who abuse the flagging system that it should actually be punishable to abuse that system, or, I don't know, make it impossible to upload for a month. That would be a good thing if you abuse the system. If you have, if you have more than 3 to 5 violations in a row of the flagging system, where it's actually provable that whatever you flagged for isn't the case, specifically with personal information. If you think that someone cyberbullies and you flag that, I don't think it's gonna be as good to have such a small margin of error, because sometimes you hear someone say a strong terminology, but it's really not cyberbullying, it's just someone using strong terminology, which, by the way, YouTube, stop being babies about it. I'm aware strong terminology is not the best for your advertisers that you want to keep on your platform, but you know what else isn't good for your advertisers? To have the advertisings that they have shown on US shows, have those exact ads show up on the YouTube video of those same shows as well. At least from my point of view. I'm a little bit biased against any TV shows having YouTube channels in the first place, but that's just me. Anyway. I kind of lost my point midway through. So I hope that what I say next makes coherent sense. But I really don't think that something like strong language, if you flag for strong language, it should not be as hard punished as flagging for things like personal information, DMCA, whatever the case may be. So yeah, there really need to be different levels of how hard punishment for the abuse of a flagging tool actually should reach. The worst of the worst definitely should be abuse for things, the abuse of the flagging tool for things like personal information. And I think then the next best level should be for cyberbullying. I'm looking at the report points right now. Sexual content is really low on the list. Violent and repulsive content, pretty high. Hateful, abusive content, really high. Harassment, cyberbullying, pretty high. Harmful and dangerous acts, actually middle. Child abuse, max level. Promotes terrorism. I actually have heard people who had their videos flagged for promoting terrorism that just spoke funnily about organizations that are part of terrorism, which, by the way, what the fuck? Everyone knows terrorism is bullshit. Everyone knows that. I don't condone terrorism at all. But sometimes what terrorists do is so laughable that sometimes you don't have a better way of coping with it than making jokes about it, which I guess go for it. I'm not sure. I wouldn't do it. But some people do that. I don't know. Terrorism is bullshit. Just don't do it. Don't support it. Don't say it's okay. I'm probably gonna have this video flagged for terrorism because I just mentioned it. Spam or misleading, pretty low, infringes my rights, basically like personal information. Caption issues, what the fuck? I don't know. I think hateful, abusive content, which is probably one of the easiest ways to get videos down. If you abuse that feature specifically, you really should get punished. You really should get punished for abusing the system, because it makes no sense that people can go on a mass flagging tirade without anything happening to them, especially if they willingly and, well, desperately, thanks brain, desperately are looking to just get people off of the platform or off their tails that just talk negatively about them. By the way, I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but I know there are some people out there that need to hear this. Criticizing someone is not automatically hate speech. If you think that, you really shouldn't be on social media, period. I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but there are those who need to hear this. Okay. I went a little bit off track. I apologize for that, but yeah. We also had, Jesus Christ. We also had someone who basically was I think he was the reason for the first adpocalypse on YouTube, who put up, who made a video about people who take money for write anything on a sign, basically. And he made those people write pretty disgusting shit on that sign. Yeah, why was that even a what? Why is shit like this? Why do people get to the realization that I really need to get myself out there? What can I do? Oh wait, I'm gonna go on this website where people write anything I want on a sign for a certain amount of money, and I'm gonna make a video about that with a very, very disgusting thing that they've written on a sign. Just to check if they actually are going to do that. Why are people in a mindset where they come to ideas like that? Gets my blood pressure all the way up. That people actually are not stable enough to think this kind of flipping garbage through. And the funny thing is that if someone were to bring this up in today's time, like with the actual example and everything, they would probably have their video taken down for hateful content and potentially even stuff like racism. Because the original one, that was okay, but if you talk about it in a critical manner, you're suddenly the one who is in trouble. Which I don't understand why this is a thing. Why are people who call out bad people, bad behavior, really disgusting garbage, why are people who call that out in hot water at all? Just imagine a celebrity does something really despicable and the news cover that, and suddenly the celebrity were to sue a TV publication with the news about that exact thing that they aired, and the news show basically were to get into trouble for it. Imagine how unstable this whole situation would look. I don't get it. It makes no sense. Nothing about this has any coherent human logic behind it. And no, it's not because I think of this. It's because the whole situation surely is outlandish enough to potentially not happen with the celebrity example, for instance. But a lot of people have had their videos taken down, their channels demonetized, or flat out terminated for speaking out against people who have broken rules. And I wonder, where is the fairness? Where is the logic? What is allowed on YouTube? To get the title of the video actually in here, I already know what I'm gonna title it, so what is actually allowed here? Are we allowed to break the rules, but are people not allowed to talk about people breaking rules? Is it an ego thing? Is it about you being hurt? You, YouTube. Is it about you being hurt? That people basically talk about your shortcomings? Another thing that people have been very open about is how the public or openly visible dislike ratio is no longer visible. I'm quickly going to summarize this. You claim that it was made for creators, and that is a complete lie. If I go onto my creator dashboard, I can still see my dislikes. So you're not helping me in the slightest. You're only promoting people to do fraudulent, garbage content with this exact thing, especially things like scams, and people have no idea of knowing it from the very start unless A, they can't see the title and they are suspicious about it from the start. B, they go 5 minutes into watching the video, which already helped the watch time of a fraudulent content creator. So, lose-lose situation. Or a potential C, someone just heard from a friend and therefore is lucky enough not to have the misfortune of coming across someone who is a trash content creator, or at least did a video who which is considered absolute trash. Or maybe it's D, it's because your YouTube rewinds are some of the prime examples of videos that get tons of dislikes, and therefore you basically do it for yourself. This is just a hypothesis though, so I'm just throwing this out there. Will my channel exist tomorrow? I have no idea. Whatever it is, I am basically about done taking a passive stance. I love this website, okay? I love the fact that there are so many amazing content creators out here that I watch on a daily basis. But there are also those who are really terrible, those who do really, really terrible shit. But for whatever reason, it's worse to call out people who do terrible shit than the actual person who does the terrible shit. And I really wonder, where's the logic? What is allowed? And why is there seemingly, okay, just seemingly, no equal rule enforcement? I would really like to hear this from YouTube. Like, honestly, if you're not willing to open up publicly, at least shoot someone a message privately so that they can be like, yeah, I talked about this with YouTube and they are in the clear, whatever. I don't give a shit. Just have someone be some form of, I don't know, spokesperson for you. I don't know. This is a really the whole situation is just disgusting in general. And I wish that things would just go back to the way they were a couple of years ago. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to stay the same or even get worse. And I don't know, man. I don't know. This is really something that is a huge problem, and this needs to be addressed. So yeah. So as a closing statement or thought, basically, I don't think that the current situation is enjoyable in the slightest. But there's also some good to be seen, because we can finally realize the holes in certain areas that really do need patching. So, YouTube, you have every opportunity right here to patch those holes, to do the best thing for your creators, for the website, for you in general. Because really, YouTube, I'm talking to you specifically right now, because I want you to realize this. Do you think your advertisers would be happy to have their ads play on a video where someone says, "Dude, stop existing to yourself"? Do you think that that's a smart thing to do? I'm not sure what your answer would be to this. I don't expect you to answer, because anytime that I've spoken to you, I've been disappointed. But yeah, I'm really struggling to understand you. At the same time, there are some positives we can take away from this. Primarily the fact that there seem to be a lot of holes, and we can look at those holes, and, well, hopefully we can get enough people to speak up about this. I took my sweet time, I am aware of that, but I'm doing it now. I hope that we can get enough people to speak up on this, that there is no other way than to address this properly. Because it can't stay like this. There is no way that we can have people who break the rules stay basically in the clear, while people who call out that absolutely toxic, shitty behavior, that those get punished. It makes no sense. It's literally the worst thing that can happen, period. That is the worst representation of your websites, your creators, and anything and everything. So yeah, this is my take. YouTube, I ask you, what is allowed? I don't expect you to answer. So yeah, until then, maybe my channel will be gone tomorrow. I'm not aware yet. Who knows? I'm a small creator. If I'm gone, good riddance. Who cares, right? Until then, this has been Marco, the actual person, not that online persona. And I'm out. Maybe for good. Who knows? Until then, peace.